my God. Nah, but what's up, boys? This is the trade from today. Here's a quick little rundown. I'm about to break it down like fully from start to finish here in a second. But here's a quick breakdown. This is the new 4-hour candle here. Initial accumulation. Get the manipulation to this 15-minute fair value gap. We got this manipulation set in the bottom wick of this 4-hour candle, which is the 4-hour candle CRT combined with the PO3, which I'm about to break down fully. We caught it all in the lives. Make sure you guys are joining lives. I go live every single morning in my Discord. It's completely free. We got over 1,000 members in there joining up. And I'm also live on TikTok every night. So make sure you guys are popping in. But I'm about to break this down. We had a re-PO3 actually and a re-PO3 entry as well. And like I just showed you a second ago, we made 1,200. Ended up getting stopped in profit for 1,200 bucks. This ended up pushed a little more. I moved this up 1,200 bucks on the day. Entry was 734. So just to show you guys that I actually took this real quick. This CIC right here on the side, you can see is 734. So this was off this re-entry. This one we ended up getting stopped out in profit. As you can see, we got a clean CIC 1 minute, whatever. I'll go over the trade in a second, but we got a reaccumulation PO3, which stopped us out break even, and then we re-entered here for a $1,200 day. So let's clear the charts and give you guys a quick breakdown. Just remember, the Discord's free, so if you guys have any questions or even in the comments in here, make sure you ask them. But the links to all my socials and my Discord and everything will be in the description for you guys to join up. All right, so going into the day here, we hop down to the 5-minute chart. We marked out the session lows, right? So we had the Asia session, London session lows right here. We went ahead and marked those out. As you can see here, though, this is pre-market action here. Overnight in pre-market action, we actually had like a little higher time frame PO3 go on here. So if you guys can't obviously tell quite yet, I trade the PO3 is the main concept of my model. But so we had the initial accumulation right overnight in pre-market, and then we set in this accumulation leg, and instantly off New York Open we got bought up. So New York Opens right here. After this accumulation leg, we got bought up, and clearly this higher time frame PO3 was kind of like the real move of the day. But obviously there's multiple re-PO3s. I trade the 9 a.m. Central 4-hour candle, so that's where I start to look for my trades. But this is just pre-market. I'm just showing you guys where we kind of formed our bias. So basically we had this little pre-market PO3, right? So once you look at that, and then you go to the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart is where we kind of decided. So by the way, this candle right here, this down candle was at 9 a.m. So that was the 9 a.m. 4-hour candle. It opened right here. So this was where we were on the Discord. We were in the live getting ready to take our trade, doing our analysis, and going into that 9 a.m. 4-hour candle. As you can see, 15-minute fair value gap right here. So this was our main zone of the day. If we were going to play any sort of downside move down into London and Asia lows, we had to see that 15-minute zone get inversed, right? Because this is the zone of the day. We got a pre-market PO3, price already flipped structure, forming displacement, forming fair value gaps through highs. What does it mean when you get displacement fair value gap through highs? These should be holding as long as the trend is holding strong. So for example, if price would have came down and closed below here, then my bias would have flipped short, and we would have targeted those lows, looked for a re-PO3 into a short to play that. However, that's not up to me to guess. Are we going to hold this zone? Or are we going to inverse it? I just sit there, watch, wait for my PO3, and I just watch, bro. It's not like I don't have to guess or anything. So basically, we have that 15-minute gap there, right? Now we drop down to the 1 minute. As soon as our 9 a.m. 4-hour candle opens, so this big thing right here is the 4-hour candle. So if you guys don't have the indicator yet, it's just higher time frame power of 3 by 2 degrees. It allows you to see that 4-hour chart even though I'm on the 1 minute or 4-hour candle while I'm on the 1 minute chart. So as you guys can see here, that 15-minute gap I had marked. So this was the zone of the day right here. We knew going into this 9 a.m. 4-hour candle, which opened literally right here at this candle, we knew we're going to look for our PO3 entry inside of this gap to play longs, or we're going to wait for it to get inversed, then look for a PO3 entry to play short. So this was like the zone of the day. You got to make sure you're finding these little zones of the day. Make sure you can identify them because these are going to be your main areas of operation. So as soon as that 4-hour candle opened, right, boom, candles open, we form an accumulation range. What's the first step of my strategy? Waiting for that candle to open. First of all, I trade the 9 a.m. Central 4-hour candle every single day, but then you want to see an accumulation range get formed, right? And a really important thing that someone had brought up today is you guys make sure you're not just jumping on looking for any sort of PO3. It needs to line up with your higher time frame narrative. So everything I just went over is kind of like the higher time frame narrative. Price also just filled in a bunch of daily imbalances, filled in a new week opening gap over here. So in general, price was looking very, very strong. So a higher time frame narrative, you need to have a narrative on the market with your PO3s. You can't just take any PO3. Just like any other strategy. If you trade just normal ICT like 2022 model, like just FEGs and everything, every single time you see it, it's not going to work. It needs to have higher time frame narrative with it. So we had the pre-market PO3 shifted through structure, forming a gap. So this was our higher time frame narrative area. This is what needed to hold for longs to continue, which, as you'll end up seeing, did, which, as you already seen, had ended up working. So like I said, this new 9 a.m. 4-hour candle opened. What do you want to see? Well, you want to wait for a PO3 into that zone. So we see the accumulation range. We mark out the accumulation range. Now, what are you waiting for here? You want to see if price can get a manipulation, right? And the whole point of the 4-hour candle CRT aligned with the PO3 is that this is literally a perfect example of what the lower time frame is going to look like for a bullish 4-hour candle. So price already played out, so you guys can see this whole 4-hour candle. You see how this is a basic bullish 4-hour candle. You have the open right here, you have the low, you have the high, and then you have the close. So on the lower time frames, it looks like this. So that's why I love this indicator because it allows you to see it on both time frames. So on the lower time frame, it looks like this: accumulation, manipulation, and when you get that manipulation, you'll see that the manipulation low sets in the low of the 4-hour candle. So that's what the manipulation of the PO3 is. And then you want to wait for I'll get into that right now. So after you see that manipulation, make sure you have that marked out. Make sure you have it identified into that 15-minute zone to set in the bottom look of that 4-hour candle. All you want to see now is a CISD or a IFEG. And as you can see here, there's no really bearish displacement candles, so we went with the CISD. So we had this CISD right here. 1 minute got it, closed way above, forming 2 fair value gaps. So what did we do? We were like, okay, we got the CISD. That's the last thing we needed. We should expect price to get this major PO3. So we marked out these 1 minute fair value gaps, and as you can see, price instantly tested back into that. And this is where we took that first long entry that you guys saw earlier, which I don't think I don't have my Discord pulled up right now, but if you looked in the profits channel in my Discord, like I said, the links to trade with me live every single day and to look at all that stuff is completely free. It's in my bio. Make sure you guys check it out and drop a sub for more. But the first profit I sent was from this trade right here. We got up, hit this TP1, hit accumulation highs. Every time you get this entry, your first target should be the accumulation highs. So these highs right here were our first TP. We instantly came and hit TP on that first long. However, on my position, I didn't take TP. Instead of taking TP, I moved my stop loss to break even and tried to let this ride to extended targets because there was some significant draws above, which is obviously what we ended up doing. But however, so the same scenario here where we got the 9 a.m. candle open, PO3 into the 15-minute and shifted structure, it looks good. Everything looks good. Everything's lining up for upside, right? However, as soon as we achieved that target 1 at that accumulation high, we formed another accumulation range here. So if you guys were in the live, you guys saw this, you guys remember, I was like, if you guys aren't in this trade yet, make sure you guys mark out this reaccumulation. So once you see the reaccumulation, what happens? The exact same setup. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution to the accumulation highs. This is why I started trading the PO3 like over a year ago. This is why I started doing this, because this is just how the market moves. So if you can line it up with a higher time frame narrative, 1, it's super simple, and 2, it's very accurate. So it's why I trade it. It's why I do what I do. So we got the reaccumulation. Manipulation stopped us out break even of this original entry. If you would have kept your stops at this original low, then yeah, you would have never got stopped out of the first position. But I like to be a little more aggressive with my stop, so I didn't have it all the way at this low. So as soon as we hit that TP1, I moved to break even, got break even on this manipulation. But then we went and got the CISD again. No displacement candles, no IFEGs. So instead, we looked for the CISD, the close back above this accumulation range. Are we entering right at the TP? Yes. Price was extremely bullish. We already set in a PO3 to set in the bottom of this 4-hour candle, and we wanted to catch the displacement of that 4-hour candle. So we took our entry right here. I literally have my entry right here. We entered at 25,734 on the live stream with everyone in there. If you guys haven't seen, check out my IG, check out my TikTok story, whatever you need to do. All the members ate today, but 25,734 was the entry, which is literally right here, 7,534. It was the close above. It was the CISD of this level right here, which is just the body candle closures of this. It's not the wicks, it's the body candle closures to get that CISD. So boom, we took that entry. Like I said, I was made 1,200 today, so what is that, like 10 points above this? So about 844 was the TP. So 844 right there was our TP. I have it on replay mode, so it's not. This is at literally 11 a.m., but this played out throughout the day, as you can literally see on the screenshot. And so way up there was our TP, and I think our stop loss. Oh, it's not in that screenshot because I already had my stops moved up in profit. I don't know. It was somewhere over here for like about a 4, 5, 6 R, depending on where you put your stop, like a 4 to 5 R to R. for that PO3 there. So literally what that is, accumulation manipulation, it's super simple. Like, you guys might be like, oh, is there more to it? There's not much more to it today. It was very simple, very clean, very fundamentally right. Like, this is fundamentally how a 4-hour candle should form. You have the open right here, right here. You accumulation, manipulation is set on the bottom wick, and then you catch the distribution. It was a very fundamental day. The reaccumulation PO3 stopped a lot of people out, which, like I said, it even stopped me out. It stopped me out break even, and I had to re-enter. But trusting your conviction, trusting the setup to get that re-entry and still be confident to take it is the reason we were able to make over $1,200 today after making $2,100 yesterday. If you guys haven't checked out the recap on my YouTube from yesterday, we made $2,100. Today we made $1,200. Like I said, I catch all these live in my Discord every single morning. I go live in New York 15 minutes after open because, like I said, we trade the 9 a.m. Central 4-hour candle. So I don't trade New York Open. I trade 30 minutes after New York Open because I trade this new 4-hour candle with this exact strategy. Yeah, so make sure you guys sub up for more. Once again, here is the trade from today. As you can see, it lines up exactly with what you're seeing. 1,300, but I moved my stop loss profit, ended up coming down, hitting me out in profit before it hit this full TP. So plus 1,200 on the day. Hope to see you guys in the Discord, man. I hope to see you guys in the live streams. Tap in every single day and drop a sub if you're new. Peace out.